you for coming along today to our press conference. We're very pleased to see that there's a good turnout for our speakers today. Well, as you probably know, this is a very big year for Osaka City and Osaka Prefecture. In June, the city will host the G20 Leaders Summit, which is expected to attract 30 presidents and world leaders and a large retinue of other people, including, of course, journalists and hacks like ourselves. That's a major security headache for the city. Preparations are also underway to host Osaka's second Expo in 2025. And of course, Osaka is also considered a front runner, if not the front runner, to host one of Japan's three integrated casino resorts. A decision also by Osaka leaders on the winner could come later this year. And all of this takes place, of course, as efforts by our two guests to merge Osaka's municipal wards continue. That's in the teeth of strong opposition from their political rivals. And also in early April, voters go to the polls for prefectural and municipal assembly elections that will affect the fortunes of both of these men. So it's a very busy year. We're very happy that they have come along today to talk about all these issues. So please give a warm welcome to Ichiro Matsui, the governor of Osaka Prefecture, and Hirofumi Yoshimura, the mayor of Osaka. Can I just remind you before we start, could you make sure your phones are switched off so we don't get interrupted? Thank you very much. I believe Matsui Sensei is going to go first. Please a nod to our wonderful translator, Myron Joyce.
大阪府知事の松井です。外国人特派員の皆さんに講演させていただく貴重な機会をいただきありがとうございます。
Good afternoon. My name is Matsui, the governor of Osaka. Thank you very much for this precious opportunity to speak with you, the foreign correspondents here.
2年前の4月にこの場で万博についてお話をさせていただきました。皆さんからの情報発信をいただき、世界の多くの国々の支持を得て誘致を勝ち取ることができました。この場を借りて厚くお礼申し上げます。
So 2 years ago in April, I had the opportunity to speak here at the FCCJ as well in regards to the bid for the Expo to be held in Osaka. Thanks to all of you sharing information about this to people around the world, to the international community. It meant that many countries were in support of our suggestion to hold the Expo in Osaka, and we were therefore successful. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for this.
本日私たちが皆さんにお伝えしたいことは大きく3つあります。福祉連携による改革の推進、そして成長のインパクトとなる万博などの取り組み、そして新たな大都市制度の実現についてです。
There are three main points which we would like to speak to you about today. The first is promoting innovation through collaboration between the Osaka Prefecture and city. The second is the expected impact of Osaka's growth, and particularly looking at the Osaka Kansai Expo of 2025. And the third is realizing a new metropolitan system.
はじめに福祉連携による改革の推進についてです。
So first I will speak about the collaboration between Osaka Prefecture and city.
この一覧表は2008年の時点で大阪府と大阪市がそれぞれ持っていた研究所などの施設を示したものです。
So the image on the screen now shows the various research facilities and so on which were located in both Osaka and Prefecture and the city of Osaka as of 2008.
日本で2番目に狭いこの都道府県の中で府と大阪府と大阪市が競い合うように同じような施策を行う同じような施設を整備するという状況でありました。
And within what is the second smallest area of as such prefecture within Japan, we can see that actually the prefecture and the city were almost in competition with each other, developing very similar facilities in both of their respective areas.
象徴な例がこの2つのビルであります。
And these two buildings are a very representative example of this.
大阪府と大阪市それぞれが大阪のベイエリアに超高層ビルを建て高さを競い合っていました。
So these are two buildings which are respectively built by the prefecture and the city governments of Osaka, and they were almost competing in terms of the height of these buildings.
日本のバブル経済崩壊後、不 不動産の不況の影響などで入居者が集まらず、いずれも運営会社は経営破綻をいたしました。
And due to the bursting of the bubble in Japan, the economic bubble, and also the impact made to the real estate industry in Japan as well, it meant that there were not enough tenants for either of these buildings, and actually the companies who were operating both of these buildings went bankrupt.
我々は、この状況では大阪が成長しないということで、私と、そして吉村市長、前、大阪市長である橋本市長と一緒にタッグを組んで、この無駄の解消や、施策の連携の強化、改革を強力に推進をいたしました。
And therefore, looking at this situation, we understood that Osaka would not grow if things were to continue as they were. Therefore, I, together with the current mayor and also his predecessor, Mr. Hashimoto, worked together to look at how we could reduce waste, such wasteful policy, and coordinate, or strengthen and enhance the coordination between our policies together.
大阪府、大阪市、それぞれ別々であった成長戦略を一本化をし、共通の目標を定めました。
And therefore, we decided what had been until then separate growth strategies for the Osaka prefecture and city would be put together into one strategy and having a common goal to work towards.
経済界とともに、観光インバウンド強化に向けて、この観光のプロモーションの司令塔となる、大阪観光局を整備をいたしました。
One example of this, looking towards the economy and working to look at how to increase inbound tourism to Osaka, was establishing the Osaka Convention and Tourism Bureau as a hub within Osaka.
人や物が流通をしやすい、そのためにさまざまなインフラの整備にも着手をいたしました。
We have also started to look at what kind of infrastructure can be improved in order to improve the flow and make it more easier for both people and goods to flow.
関西空港とのアクセス向上につながるなにわ水線は30年間動いてこなかったプロジェクトでしたが、事業化に向けて動きいたしました。
And so this is including, for example, improving of access to the Kansai International Airport and also the Naniwa-Tsuji line, which had been planned but actually completely stalled for 30 years, is now something which we are finally looking towards, or the scheme is now in place and moving.
民間にできることは民間に任せるということで、空港や地下鉄の民営化を実現をいたしました。
And we also see that what can be done by private industry moving to privatization in order for them to do that. And we have implemented this for both the municipal subway and also the international airport.
先ほどもお話ししましたが、大阪府、大阪市、それぞれが持ってた研究の施設の統合も実現をいたしました。
And as I mentioned, we have also realized the merging of various research facilities which had until then been held separately by both the prefecture and the city.
これから日本は少子高齢化で若い人たちが減っていきます。そのために世界の大学と競争ができるそういう大学を目指して大阪府立大学、そして大阪市立大学、この2つの大学の統合も進めております。
But first, Japan is from now facing the issues of the aging population and the low birth rate as well. Therefore, there will be less young people here in Japan. In order to ensure sufficient competition in the global academic world with universities, we have also decided to merge and integrate the Osaka Prefectural University and the City University into one.
大阪府、大阪市が大阪の成長戦略を一元化したことにより、実体経済にも現れてまいりました。
And as a result of bringing together the growth strategy of the prefecture and the city into one, we have indeed actually had achievements in the business growth.
景気動向指数は全国平均を大きく上回っております。
We can see that the indices of business conditions are much higher than the overall Japanese standards.
大阪を訪れた外国人のお客様は、私が知事になった2011年は160万人でしたが、一昨年2018年には1150万人の試算がなされており、約7倍伸びました。
And in terms of the number of inbound visitors to Osaka since I became governor in the year 2011. Well, at that time it was around 1.58 million visitors annually. However, this has increased by about 7 times to 11.1 million now.
府市連携の大きな成果が、そして大阪を成長させる、さらなるインパクトが万博 G20IR です。
And so these are some of the results which have come into place as a result of the coordination between the prefecture and the city and the growth which is taking place. And we expect that the Expo, the G20, and also the IR will have a great impact on this also.
万博の誘致実現までは非常に長く厳しい道のりでありました。
The bid and until the decision was made to have the Expo in Osaka, it was a very long and arduous path.
命輝く未来社会のデザインというテーマがBI 加盟国に評価されたこと、そして府市一体で活動し、府民や市民の皆さんに応援いただいたことが勝因だと考えています。
I believe that the reason that we were successful was first of all that our theme of designing future society for our lives was very much valued or recognized by the other countries who were involved in the decision, and further that the clear support of the citizens also contributed to this.
経済効果は2兆円と試算されていますが、2020年の東京オリンピック・パラリンピック後の日本の成長の起爆剤として期待をされています。
And it is expected that the economic impact or ripple effect of holding the Expo will be around 2 trillion yen. We are expecting that in the post-Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games period, this will be a great catalyst for Japan's growth.
会場には AI をはじめとする最先端の技術を導入をいたします。
In the venue, we will be introducing various high-tech infrastructure, including AI.
今後、先月末に発足した日本国際博覧会協会において具体化をしていきます。
And last month, the official committee working towards this was established, and this will be becoming more and more concrete in the days to come.
この万博は国連が掲げる SDGs の達成の貢献を目指しています。
And we are aiming also for this Expo to contribute to the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
続いて G20 大阪サミットは今年の6月、万博会場なる夢洲の東側であります先島のインテックス大阪を主な会場として開催をいたします。
And the G20 summit will be held in Osaka in June of this year. This will be held on the eastern part of Yumeshima, which is also the venue for the Expo. The main venue for this will be the Intex Osaka Conference Hall.
2025年の万博開催に向け、大阪で各国首脳が一堂に会し、国際社会の共通課題について幅広く議論されることは大きな意義があります。
And we believe it is very important for leaders of countries around the world to gather together in Osaka and have dialogue or discussion regarding common challenges that are faced by the countries and the international community today will be an important step towards the 2025 Expo.
開催期間中は各国の政府関係者約3万人が大阪を訪れ、高い経済効果を発揮できます。
It is expected that around 30,000 government officials from the participating countries will be coming to Osaka at that time, and this will also have a great economic impact.
ぜひ本日ご指摘をいただいてます、特派員協会の皆さんにも、世界各国への大阪の魅力の発信にご協力をいただきたいと思います。
And I hope to count on also the cooperation of all of the FCCJ members and the foreign correspondents to, on this occasion, also share the charms or the beauty of Osaka with people around the world as well.
IR 大都市制度については吉村市長に説明をいただきます。
And I will pass over to Mayor Yoshimura to speak on the integrated resort issue.
Thank you very much.
大阪市長の吉村です。本日は貴重な機会をいただきまして、ありがとうございます。東型リゾート IR の立地推進の取り組みについて説明させていただきます。
My name is Yoshimura. I am the mayor of the city of Osaka, as introduced. Thank you very much for this important opportunity today. As mentioned, I will be speaking about the steps towards inviting the integrated resorts to Osaka.
現在、万博の会場でもある夢洲において、2024年度の開業を目指して、府市一体で IR の立地を推進しています。
So at the moment, on the site of Yumeshima, which is also the planned site for the Expo, we are working together in coordination with both the prefecture and the city to have approval for the IR to be built on Yumeshima in 2024.
先日、大阪 IR の目指す姿 大阪 IR 基本構想案を取りまとめました。
And just recently, we have finalized the plan for the Osaka IR.
世界最高水準の競争力を備えたマイス施設やエンターテインメントなど魅力あふれる IR 施設を実現して、都市の魅力、国際競争力を向上させ、大阪・関西の持続的な成長につなげていきます。
And so we believe that this planned model is something which will be on a global scale and indeed very competitive internationally as well. It will be an integrated MICE facility, including also entertainment facilities. And we believe that this will be a very attractive IR, which can also contribute to the sustainable growth of Osaka.
次に新たな大都市制度の実現についてお話をします。
And next, I would like to speak about our plan for realizing a new metropolitan system for Osaka.
イメージ図ですけども、今皆さんの手元にあります国際都市大阪が目指すべき未来像をお示しをしています。
And so the image which is on the materials distributed on the screen shows our vision for what we see for the international metropolis Osaka.
大阪の成長発展を確かなものとして世界に貢献していくためにも大都市制度改革に道筋をつけたいと考えています。
And we believe that this is important, of course, also for the growth and development for Osaka, but also to contribute internationally as well.
府市連携による改革、万博や G20 の誘致の成功というのは、知事と市長が同じ方向でマネジメントできたからこそ実現できたものです。
And this vision which is in place and also the success in the Expo and G20 being held in Osaka as well as the steps towards IR is showing that something which could be achieved because of the fact that we as the mayor and the governor are facing in the same direction and are working together in management collectively.
持続的な成長に向けて今後も同じ方向でマネジメントをしていくためには人間関係に依存しない制度的な担保が不可欠です。
However, to ensure that this growth is sustainable and that the city and prefecture can continue to be working together in the same direction and managing together, it is important that this is not only relying on personal relationships, but that there is also systematic reform put in place to ensure that this can continue.
世界の大都市は産業政策や交通インフラ整備、さまざまな広域行政でしのぎを削っています。
Of course, when we look at various global cities around the world, it is important to look at also the infrastructure and transportation and so on, which is in place for the administrative aspects.
ロンドンや東京では広域機能が一元化されて、世界と競争できる組織として作り上げられています。
And we can see for the functions which are for both self-governance and also the broader area, for example, the examples of London and Tokyo showing that this is done to contribute in a broader way.
しかし大阪ではそれが制度的に実現できていません。
However, in Osaka until now, this has not been done in terms of the system which is in place.
先日、東京の小池都知事がこちらで、東京の大きな方向性について会見されたと思います。
I believe that Governor Koike of Tokyo spoke here earlier this week about the future vision for Tokyo from now.
東京は都知事一人でそれをすることができます。
And in the case of Tokyo, that can be put in place with just one leader, with the governor of Tokyo.
しかし今日、僕と知事がお二人でいるように、大阪においては2人が半人前のような組織になっている、一人前の成長戦略をする組織が作り上げられていない、この制度的な担保をぜひ実現したいというのが大都市制度改革の本質です。
However, in the case of Osaka, as you can see by the fact that we have both myself as the mayor and also the governor of Osaka here, this shows that until now these decisions cannot be made by only one person, but it needs these two people, meaning that the leaders of the city and the prefecture are in some ways only serving or only able to play half of that role. Therefore, we are looking at what kind of systematic reform can be put in place to ensure in a sustainable way that we can fulfill our roles as one person fully.
かつて大阪府、大阪市がそれぞれ違う方向で施策を展開する二元行政の状態が続いて、大阪の成長と発展を阻害してきました。
In the past, because of the fact that the mayor and governor or the city and prefecture of Osaka had been facing different directions in terms of their plans and strategies, that had meant the policies were implemented in two different levels, two different directions as well, which was an obstacle to the growth.
今は僕と知事が人間関係で同じ方向を向いていますけれども、これを将来の制度として担保するためには、府市を再編して広域機能を一元化する必要があります。
And so at the moment we are able to do this because of the personal relationship and cooperation between the governor and myself. However, in the future, to ensure that this is sustainable and fully concretized in place, we are looking at what kind of reform needs to be made to the metropolitan system to keep this going.
私と知事は2015年、新たな大都市制度都構想を実現するために住民投票実施を公約に掲げ、そして知事市長のダブル選挙に当選をいたしました。
And this has been primary within our policies until now. At the time of conducting the referendum of the people in Osaka, this was our policy in place, and it was also upon this platform that we were both elected to our positions.
その実現に向けて全力で取り組んでいきたいと思います。
And therefore, we will be putting all of our efforts into realizing this.
今日ご説明した大阪万博 G20 サミット IR すべて福祉一体の事業で初めて成功するという事業でもあります。
And the various initiatives which we have introduced today, the Expo, the G20, and IR, will only be successful through the collaboration between the city and prefecture.
大阪が本来持っている力を発揮するために福祉の左辺都構想というのを実現するのが大阪の大きな課題であり目標だというふうに認識をしています。
And we believe that in order to fully realize the potential and the strength of Osaka, we need to have reform in place to ensure that this can be done in a systematic way. This is both our challenge and our goal.
参考資料としまして大阪のポテンシャル新たな大都市制度の検討に関する資料というのを整理しています。後ほどご覧いただければ幸いです。
And within the materials distributed today, we have also included some additional reference material showing the potential of Osaka as well. So I hope that you can take a look at this afterwards.
ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being so brief. It's not easy to ask politicians to keep to the time limit. So we will throw the questions open. I see Richard's hand up first. If you'd like to come to the mic, can you state who you are and the name of your organization, please, before you ask your question? Thank you.
ではこれで質疑応答に入ります。まず所属とお名前の方からお願いいたします。
My name is Richard Susilo from Indonesia. Osaka 2025 is great project, very good, excellent. But the ship will be headed by two captains, Osaka Prefecture and Osaka City, as you told to us right now. And actually, I support the idea of Mr. Hashimoto to mix between prefecture and also the city. I would like to know your idea about this mixing between governor and also the city becomes one big, huge, strong captain. Thank you.
はい、インドネシアのリチャードと申します。大阪の万博というのは非常に素晴らしいプロジェクトだと思います。しかしやはり今スピーチの中にもありましたように、一つの船に2人の船長がいるという、懸念があると思います。私自身は橋本前市長の市と府の統合のアイデアを支持しているんですけれども、その統合ということについてのご意見をお願いいたします。
Is that question to Richard? To both? Both.
お二人への質問。
これは世界の成長する都市を見ましても広域行政が二元化しているなんていうのは、ありえないことだし、特に大阪の場合は大阪の、地図を見ていただいたら分かると思いますけども、大阪という大阪府エリア、これはほぼニューヨークと同じぐらいの人口いるんですけど、この大阪府エリアのど真ん中が大阪市でありまして、この真ん中を外した形で成長戦略を作っても、これ大阪全体の成長につながらないのが明らかなので、これは今は先ほど吉村市長が言いましたが、人間関係で全体の広域行政を作り上げてますが、人間関係みたいなものは脆弱なものです。これはもう制度として成り立たせるべきだと我々は考えています。
So this issue, of course, when we look at the global growth of cities around the world, having public administration being conducted on two different levels at the same time is something really unthinkable if we look at other examples around the world. If we look even at the map of Osaka, we can see that within the overall area of the prefecture, which has around the same position as New York, the city is, of course, right at the center of this. Therefore, to develop a growth strategy for the overall prefecture without incorporating that center, that city, is something which clearly cannot be done. At the moment, as we mentioned, because we have a personal relationship for coordinating, cooperating together, we are able to move forward as one. However, of course, relationships are fragile things between human beings. Therefore, we believe it's important to look at how we can create one system to move forward from now.
これからは国の枠というのを飛び越えて、都市が選ばれる、そういう時代にどんどん突入していくというふうに思っています。
First of all, I believe that we are now entering an area where rather than the countries or the nation states as such, but really cities playing a much more prominent role.
そういった中で都市が国を引っ張るということが重要であって、そして大阪も日本を引っ張る都市にしていきたいというのがまず大きな思いです。
And therefore, I believe it's important also for cities to be taking the lead, to be leading their countries as well. And therefore, first of all, as a basic precedent, it's important for Osaka to be taking the lead in Japan.
そのために大阪が成長していかなければなりませんが、大阪の成長を阻害している大きな原因が府都市の二重行政にあります。これを解消する必要があります。
And of course, in order to do so, it is very important that Osaka has its growth as well. However, at the moment, an obstacle to the growth is the fact that there is these dual layers of the public administration. Therefore, dealing with this issue is a key priority.
東京だけでなく、大阪が日本を引っ張る、そして選ばれる都市になるために、この大都市制度の改革を実現する必要がある。大阪・関西のエリアというのは歴史も深いですから、本来的に持っている力というのは非常に強いものがある。それを発揮できるシステムに変えていくという、ただそれだけのことです。
Therefore, to ensure that it's not only Tokyo which is leading Japan, but Osaka which is also leading Japan, and which is a city which is selected by the world as well, is very important. For this reason, the kind of metropolitan reform which I referred to as well is very key. This is necessary in order to go forward. Of course, Osaka and the Kansai region have very long history, therefore they have great potential and strength as well. Therefore, looking at how to reform and change the system to ensure that this potential is realized is our priority.
これまではこういうことはできませんでしたけども、橋本さん、そして松井さんの時代に、国の法律が新たにできて、そういった府都市が一つになることもできるという法律が制定されました。あとは今大阪において、民主的な手続きを踏まえれば実現することができます。今その最終段階に入っているという状況です。
Therefore, this was something which was not able to be achieved until now. However, thanks to the period which has been led by former Mayor Hashimoto and Governor Matsui, now there are new steps towards this. New national laws have also been enacted to mean that there can be a merging between the city and the prefecture as well. And therefore, I believe we're following the various democratic processes in order to do this, but Osaka is now entering the last stage towards that.
Thank you. I see three hands, Isabel, and then these two gentlemen on the second table.
Isabel Reynolds from Bloomberg, thanks very much for your talk. I wanted to ask for a bit more detail about your casino plans. Could I confirm that you want to open the casino in 2025? And how likely do you think that is to actually happen, given that public opinion in Japan is often a bit reluctant about casinos? How do you see yourselves overcoming those difficulties?
ブルームバーグのレノと申します。IR とカジノについて質問させていただきますが、一つ事実確認でオープン予定、オープンを目指しているのは2025年でよろしいでしょうか。まず確認です。そして2つ目もそれが本当に現実になる可能性はどれぐらいあるのかといいますのは、やはり日本の、国民の世論などを見ますと、懸念を持っている国民もたくさんいる、少し後ろ向きな姿勢もあるということがありますので、それが本当にその年にできるという、確率はどれぐらいあるのかについてお願いいたします。
まず年限については2024年度のオープンを目指しています。
First of all, in regards to the year, we are aiming for an opening in 2024, fiscal year 2024.
万博が2025年の5月から開催ですから、その時までに IR を開場したいと思っています。
And so because the expo will be opening in May of 2025, we are aiming for the IR to be opened prior to this.
IR の実現性ですけれども、国の法律ができて、今具体的な基準の手続きに入っているので、日本に IR ができるということはもうほぼ間違いない状況になっています。
And as to the feasibility of the IR, well, the national laws are now in place in order to mean that this is possible. Therefore, I believe we are now entering the concrete stage in the process for it actually to be going ahead. Whether the IRs will actually be going ahead and constructed in Japan, I think is certain.
国では3カ所選定しますが、大阪はそこに選定に選ばれるためにこれまでさまざまな現実の行動を起こしてきました。
And the national government will be selecting 3 locations within Japan for the integrated resorts to be built. As Osaka, we have been putting in place various measures or efforts and so on in order to be for Osaka to be one of these locations.
それは市民、府民の皆さんが心配される課題面 依存症対策、そういったさまざまな面にも正面から向き合う、プラスと面とマイナス面相互について正面から向き合うということをやってきましたし、その組織も作ってきました。そしてそれをこれからもやっていきます。そして我々は選挙においてもこれについて公約に掲げて、正面からこれに取り組んできています。
And we are working also with the citizens of both the city and the prefecture, looking to ensure that we can also deal with or address all of the challenges or concerns which they have as well. This includes, for example, issues of potential dependence and so on, and gambling issues. So we are looking at both the plus and the minus aspect of developing the casino, the IR, and looking for at how we can deal with these in a very direct, straight-on way as well. These were issues which we had also publicly put within our election platforms, and we have established an organization to deal with these various issues as well. Therefore, we are looking at how we can really deal with them head-on and move forward with the citizens.
IR 基本構想も大阪の基本構想もまとめまして、4月から春からリクエストコンセプトというのも開始します。カジノ IR オペレーター大手の事業者とも現実の話し合いというのもすでにしています。ですので、大阪に IR を実現するというのは僕と知事が大阪で活動している限りは僕は 100% に近い確率で大阪に来るというふうになっています。
And according to the basic plans for IR and for Osaka in the future as well, in April of this year, we'll be issuing the request for concepts. We have already started concrete discussions, realistic discussions with various potential casino and IR operators for the future as well. Therefore, as long as, I am the mayor and working together with the governor as well, as long as we are active in Osaka, I believe that the probability of the IR actually being constructed in Osaka is close to 100%.
Thank you. That gentleman who had his hand up. Thank you.
読売テレビの春川です。知事市長、外国特派員協会にお越しいただきありがとうございます。お二人それぞれに短く2つお聞きしたいと思います。まず1つはですね、大阪都構想の先の話なのですが、万博にも大阪・関西万博と入っているように、大阪から日本を元気にするというならやっぱり大阪だけではなしに京都とかですね、神戸とかと協力して、関西として盛り上げるということが非常に大事だと思いますが、大阪都構想の先には例えば関西州とかですね、関西を一つにまとめて行政府としてやっていこうというお考えはあるのかどうかというのが一つ。あともう一つはですね、この問題にもずっと関わってこられた橋本前市長がですね、最近のテレビの出演のコメントとか書かれている本の内容と私には政治のスイッチが再び入ったように見えるのですが、お二人はどういうふうに見てらっしゃるのか、でまたこれを進めていくにあたってどういう形か分かりませんが、例えば国政への進出も含めて橋本さんにどういうことを期待されているかということをお二人にお聞きしたいと思います。お願いします。
My name is Haruka of Yomiuri Television. First of all, welcome, and I have two brief questions for both of the speakers. First of all, as was shown in the plan, and the fact of the naming of the expo is the Osaka Kansai Expo. Looking at from Osaka, making Kansai region and also all of Japan really energetic again is something very important. And so therefore looking not only at Osaka, but also cooperation with, for example, Kyoto and Kobe. I would like to ask, first of all, if you have any vision for an overall administrative region for Kansai overall, and how you see the other parts of Kansai fitting in within your vision for Osaka. My second question is in regards to Mr. Hashimoto. As we have seen in his recent books and comments on television and so on, it seems that his political switch is somewhat turned on again, shall we say. I would like to ask for both of you what expectations or hopes you have for him in the coming days or years, for example, on the national political stage.
はい、日本の行政の、制度というのはこれは海外からの皆さんから見るとちょっと不思議がられると思うんですけど、もう、明治政府ができて以来、日本の行政の制度というのは変わっておりません。
First of all, in regards to the administrative systems in Japan, this may seem somewhat peculiar for people looking from overseas. However, this system has actually not changed since the time of the Meiji government.
もう簡単に言うと、この今の都道府県制度ができて150年間変わらない今の時代にはふさわしくない、その古い形を維持したままです。
And to put it very simply, well, the prefectural system, or the system of the metropolises and prefectures, which was established 150 years ago, has not changed at all, and yet it is not suited to the needs of today.
この形を大きく変えるというのが同州制というものですが、この同州制については、憲法を変えなければ実現はできません。
And in order to have a substantial change being made to this, we would need to also make a change to the system of the current do and chu, shall we say, making new states and prefecture system for Japan as well. However, this is not possible without actually changing the constitution of the country.
皆さんもご存知のように、日本はこの今の憲法ができて以来、一度も憲法が変わったことのない国です。
As you are all aware, Japan is a country whose constitution has not been amended once since it was first put in place.
我々は同州制という形を望んでますが、今この同州制を実現するのは非常に、困難な状況であります。
So we are in support of completely changing this system to a system to introduce states and so on in Japan. However, we also recognize that under the current situation, this would be extremely difficult to realize.
これは同州制を実現すれば、まさに日本の政治家の身分がこれが変わることになるからです。
And one of the reasons for this is that also by putting a new system in place, or this new system in place, it would also change the status of politicians in Japan as well.
我々が今現実にできることは、同州制というそういう大きな、に期待を寄せるよりも、我々が自分たちでできる、まずは大阪府市の再編をこれを実現したいと思っています。
Therefore, we are now looking at what we can realistically implement ourselves. So rather than trying to make this broad national change of the system, looking at what kind of reform we can put in place for coordination for the new metropolitan system between the city and prefecture of Osaka, something we can realistically implement ourselves.
そして、我々と一緒にやってきた橋本さんですが、彼は元政治家であったということ、そして今も法律家であること、そして、日本の社会のさまざまな現象を、に対して、高い興味と関心を持っているのは事実です。
And in regards to Mr. Hashimoto, who of course we have worked together with until now, he is himself a former politician. Not only this, but he is still also currently a lawyer. Therefore, he has a very high interest in various social phenomenon here in Japan.
ただ、彼自身がスイッチが入ったとは僕は思っていません。
But however, I personally don't believe that he has, well, his political switch has turned on, shall we say.
絶えず僕や吉村市長のスイッチを入れる係をしてくれています。
I think rather than that, he is continuing to keep his finger on our switch to make sure that the switch of myself and also Mr. Yoshimura is on.
日本の政治家にスイッチが入ってない人が多すぎるということです。
The problem is that there are too many Japanese politicians whose switches aren't turned on.
皆さんの周りには国会議員、地方議員たくさんいますが、その中でスイッチが入っている人なんていうのはほんの一握りです。
And I'm sure that there are many National Diet members or also local assembly members around all of you, but the number of those whose switches are really turned on is just a handful.
Thank you. Yoshimura-san?
日本の目指すべき姿は同州制だと思いますが、今の都道府県の制度っていうのは、要は移動手段が馬だった時にできた制度が今も続いているというのが現状です。
I also believe that the goal or Japan should be moving towards introducing a state system in place. The current system of prefectures and so on was developed when Japan was still using horses as its method for transportation.
同州制の必要性は30年前から言われていますが実現できていません。その理由は何かということです。
And the need for this new system has been advocated since 30 years ago, but what is the reason that it has not been achieved?
同州制になれば現在の知事という仕事はなくなります。そしてそれに付随する機会もなくなります。すなわち権力との闘争ですけども、これを正面からできてないし、これからもできる見込みは僕は極めて少ないと思います。
And this would mean that the current role of the prefectural governors would no longer remain in place under such a new system. This would also mean the dissembling of the prefectural assemblies. This would lead to a power struggle, of course, when we consider the current politicians in place there. And this is something which I think is extremely unlikely to happen.
自分の身分を守ろうという政治家が多すぎるなというのが今の日本の現状だというふうに思ってますが。
The situation in Japan at the moment is there are too many politicians who are trying to maintain their own position or status.
ただ大阪は明らかに成長のための阻害になっている以上、我々はそれに挑戦してまずは大阪都構想というのを実現したいと思っています。都構想が実現できないので同州制は絶対にできない。
However, in the case of Osaka, we can see clearly that these dual systems in place is being an obstruction to the growth of Osaka. Therefore, we are taking on the challenge of bringing these together in one coordinated effort for Osaka. And we believe that if this is not successful, then there would be no chance of achieving the new system for changing the prefectures in Japan overall.
それから橋本さんのスイッチですけれども、僕も地位と認識同じでまだスイッチが入っているとは思いません。
And in regards to Mr. Hashimoto, I am also of the same opinion as Governor Matsui. I also believe that his political switch is not turned on yet.
そばで見てて思うんですけど、橋本さんと松井知事との間には強烈な関係があると思ってますから、橋本さんのスイッチを入れるためには松井知事をいじめ倒すことだと思います。
And I believe, well, of course, when I looked very closely at the relationship, we can see a very strong connection between Governor Matsui and Mr. Hashimoto as well. Therefore, I believe for his switch to turn on in that kind of way, we need to walk showrooms Matsui in a way.
つまりまともな政治が本当にピンチになった時にはスイッチがあるんじゃないかと思いますが、今はまだ入ってないと。
And so I think if things really come to a pinch situation where real politics is very much needed in a way, then perhaps his switch would be turned on and he would become active at that time. However, at the moment, I don't see that is the case.
Thank you. Let me just ask you one sort of slightly more sensitive question while we have a bit of time. Osaka recently ended its 6-decade relationship with San Francisco over the erection of a statue to comfort women there. That was last year, I believe. I believe you've been protesting against these statues for many years and they don't appear to be stopping. I wonder if you think that strategy is working or should you change your strategy?
はい、一つ司会から質問させていただきます。少しセンシティブな話になるんですけれども、大阪は昨年ですね、60年も続いていたサンフランシスコ市との姉妹関係、姉妹都市の関係を切ったということがあったんですけれども、それは慰安婦に関する像が作られたときに、それに抗議するということでその関係が切られたというふうに聞いております。で、数年前からそういった像に抗議をされていると思いますが、それでも世界中にそういったものがまだ作られているという現状があります。それを止めるための戦略というものは、うまくいっているのか、もしくは違う戦略が必要なのか、その件についてご意見をお願いします。
これを本格的に止めるための戦略を実行するとなれば、これは外交権がある日本の外務省に本気になってもらわなければなりません。
To put a real stop to the construction of these statues around the world, what would be needed is for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan, who is responsible for the national interest, to really become or take the initiative on this.
60年続くサンフランシスコとの姉妹都市を僕は解消をしました。これは非常に60年というのは重要な関係を解消したその意味というのはですね、日本国政府も認識しているというふうに思っています。だからそれ以降、日本政府においてはこの問題について、いわゆるその外交として正面から取り組む姿勢に変化は見られたとは思います。
Of course, the dissolution or the cancelling of the sister city relationship with San Francisco which had continued for 60 years, is something which does have great importance, and I believe that the national government of Japan does also recognize what this means. When we look at the diplomatic moves by the national government of Japan in regards to this, I think that there has been some steps towards this.
日本政府は過去の歴史、事実、そして日本の立場というのを明確に世界に発信すべきだというふうに思います。その上で戦場における女性と性の問題については世界共通の課題として取り組むべきだと思っています。
When we look at the Japanese government, I believe it's very important for them to make clear to the world Japan's position and also the past history and facts. Over the issue of looking at women and sexually related issues during wartime is something which is a common issue for all of the world.
これは今日お越しの記者の皆さんのそれぞれの国でもそういう問題はある方も多いと思いますけれども、日本のいわゆる過去の そしてそれを矮小化された特別な事実としてやるんではなくて、世界共通の課題として全てが認識する、そういうふうに向いてもらいたいと思いますし、日本の外務省には日本の立場をしっかりと世界に発信してもらいたいと思います。
I believe, of course, for the foreign press who are here today, each of your countries also has similar issues or also problems within its past in regards to this as well. Therefore, this issue should not be looked at as one thing which is particular to Japan, but rather we need to look at this as a common issue for all of the world, an international issue as well, rather than something of one particular country. And I hope that the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs can make Japan's position much clearer to people around the world.
Thank you very much. Matsui-san, do you want to say anything? Or?
知事何かコメントがありましたら。
いや、これはもう吉村市長と全く同じです。
I have the same position as Mr. Yoshimura.
フランス店の及川と申します。吉村市長に、お伺いしたいと思います。かつて、消費者金融の、竹藤というものがありましたが、竹藤が存在した時に気に入らないジャーナリストたちに対して、億を超える訴訟を乱発しました。そして竹藤側の弁護士のお一人が、吉村さんでした。実例を挙げれば、ジャーナリストの寺澤優さんが、2億円、請求される賠償を起こされ、逆に寺澤さんから、訴権の乱用で訴えられ、竹藤が1000万円を、寺澤さんに支払いました。訴権の乱用で認定されるような訴訟に弁護人として加わったことを今どう総括しているか伺いたいと思います。
I have a question for Mayor Yoshimura. My name is Oikawa of French media. This question is in regards to the past Takafuji case, which was when legal suits were being conducted against journalists for doing things or saying things which were told they did not like, shall we say. At that time, I believe that you were a member of the legal team for Takafuji, and this was including, if we include one concrete example, there was, for example, a seeking of damages of 200 million yen for a journalist called Terasawa Yu. I would like to ask how you now look back upon having served as a member of the legal team in this case.
これは弁護士時代のご質問だと思います。弁護士の業務というのはどんな状況であれ、それぞれの立場、それぞれの意見と自分のクライアントの意見というのをしっかりと出して、それは双方がやって、そして最終的に裁判所がそれを判断するという仕組みです。例えば極悪な殺人犯であったり強姦犯であったとしても言い分がある部分がある。これについては弁護士というのはその言い分を裁判所に挙げて、そして最後は裁判官が判断する。それがまさに弁護士の仕事であり弁護人の仕事であるということです。
I believe this is a question related to my work as I was a lawyer. Of course, when we look at any kind of situation, the responsibility of the legal teams or lawyers on any side is to look at the position of the client, the perspective or the opinion of the client, and to present this to the court. This is something which each side of any legal suit will be doing. And then it is up to the court to make a decision on this case as well. Even in the case, for example, of murders, it is the responsibility of the legal team to put forward the claim or the position of the client in that respect. So this is the job of a lawyer as a member of the legal team, and it is up to the court to make the decision.
つまりそれぞれの意見主張というのを戦わせるのが訴訟の場であり、そして皆さんが見る事実というのも全てが一面的なものではなくて、それぞれが主張し、そして最後に裁判で決する。これが日本の裁判の仕組みです。当然弁護士として自分の依頼者の利益を守る、そのためにこちら側のその依頼者の利益を守れる主張をしっかりとする、そして裁判所で判断をしてもらうというのは当然の訴訟行為だというふうに思っています。ご指摘の裁判についても同様に日本で認められている訴訟制度において、そしてその依頼者の利益を守るための主張をする、そして結果的に裁判所において敗訴というふうにはなりましたけれども、これは当然日本で認められている制度でありますから、何の問題もないというふうになっています。これは憲法上認められた権利です。
And of course, as So in regards to the case which you mentioned as well, this was the same situation. Each of the different legal teams is putting forward their positions, and there's competition between this in the courts, which is, well, indeed the system of the courts. Therefore, there's not only the facts from one particular side, but each side presents the facts, the position of their clients, and under the Japanese court system, then this is proceeded within and made the decision by the court itself. So during my career, of course, as a lawyer, I did what I could to protect the interests of my client on their request as well, to put forward their positions, and then the judge will make the ruling at the end of this. So the case you mentioned was also taking place within the Japanese national legal system. Therefore, I worked to protect the interests of my client. In the end, we did lose in this case in particular, but this is, of course, something which was decided upon under the Japanese court system, so I do not see there is any problem with this. And in fact, going ahead with this legal suit is a protected right under the Constitution of Japan.
つまり、訴訟の場においては、すべての企業にも主張したいことは主張できる権利があり、そして、例えば犯罪者であっても、裁判の場においては主張したいことは主張できる権利がある。これについては誰からも後ろ指をさされるものではないというふうに思ってますし、それが本来、日本の三権分立の中であるべき姿だと思っています。だから特にそれ以上のコメントはありません。
And therefore, in any kind of legal suit, all companies and all parties have the right to put forward their positions, to state their opinions and perspectives as well. Even in the case of someone who's found to be a criminal has the right to put forward their opinion in this as well. This is the system which is guaranteed under Japan's judicial system. Therefore, I do not have any additional comment in regards to that.
Thank you. Any more questions on the working press? Then I see two hands over here. The gentleman first, I believe, and then the lady behind him. And I think that'll be it. Can you keep your questions short if you can? We've got about 7 minutes left.
Thank you very much. Stanley White from Reuters. This is a question for the mayor of Osaka City. The growth in inbound tourism has been very impressive. Do you think Osaka could somehow overtake Tokyo as a popular tourist destination? Also, I wonder if you're worried about any type of social backlash against the growing amount of tourism. I have spoken with some retailers in Osaka who say Japanese customers are starting to complain about the number of foreign tourists in places like department stores and drugstores. And I wonder, do you have any concerns about this? Thank you.
ロイターの記者です。市長に対するご質問なんですけれども、2つほどあります。インバウンドの観光客についての質問なんですけれども、非常に著しい成長だと思いますが、いずれ東京を超えることになるというふうにまず考えているかということです。そのインバウンドの人口ですね。そして2つ目の方が、それに関する地元からのクレームですとかバックラッシュのようなものがあるのかということなんですけれども、最近大阪のお店をされている方とお話をする機会があったんですけれども、日本人のお客さんから、その外国人の観光客が増えていることに対するクレームのようなものを聞いているということがありました。例えばデパートや薬局などで、外国人のお客さんが多いなどということがあったんですけれども、そういったようなことについてのコメントをもしあればお願いします。
まず大阪のインバウンドですけども、今年はおそらく150万人から1200万人になります。昨年は他領の被害もあったけども、さらに増えたという状況です。
First of all, in regards to the inbound, I believe that this year it is over 11 million and even increasing from this. We did have the damage of the typhoon last year, but it's really bounced back and even increasing upon on top of this.
東京より伸び率が高いですから、大阪が東京を超える日は確実にやってくる。近い将来確実にやってきます。
And the growth is actually at a higher rate than that of Tokyo. Therefore, I believe that the day that the inbound numbers of Osaka will go over that of Tokyo will be coming certainly in the very near future.
その理由の一つですけど、まず大阪市と大阪府で観光局というのを立ち上げて、大阪全体の観光の PR というのを協力しながら府市でやっています。
And one of the reasons for this is the fact that as prefecture and city we have together launched the new tourism bureau, and this has meaning that we can have overall appeal and promotion of the city as a tourist destination, which is having success.
もう一つの理由が大阪は都市の経済性がありながらも近くに奈良、神戸、奈良、京都といった非常に歴史的な観光遺産も多い。つまり東京圏にはない大阪の魅力、大阪関西の魅力、海外の方が求められる日本の魅力が凝縮しているのが関西エリアです。
And a further reason for this is, of course, Osaka has its charms as the city, but it's also located very close to Nara and Kyoto, which are, of course, places of rich historical and cultural heritage in Japan as well. So it has differentiation from Tokyo in that regard. So looking at it as a brand not only as Osaka, but Osaka Kansai means that this area really has a concentration of many of the different things which foreign visitors want to see in Japan.
2点目ですけれども、急激に海外のお客さんが増えてますので、日本の文化と違うところで戸惑っていらっしゃる大阪の方も多いのも事実です。
And in regards to your second point, it is indeed a fact that there are some citizens or residents in Japanese citizens in Osaka who are experiencing some confusion as a result of cultural differences and so on, with a drastic increase in foreign visitors.
しかし大阪の皆さんもそういった環境に慣れていこうということで英語を勉強されたり、そういったおもてなしの気持ちっていうのは大阪はもともと商売人の街ですから順応しているというところでもあります。
However, I believe that the people of Osaka are really doing what they can to also become used to that, to become accustomed to that themselves as well, taking efforts to learn English, for example, and to increase their hospitality. Osaka is traditionally a city of merchants, therefore the spirit is really at hand when looking at how to welcome this increasing foreigner.
海外のお客さんと、そして日本の大阪の皆さんとの摩擦についてはできるだけ生じないようにという、対策を風刺で、講じているというところでもあります。
And as the city and the prefecture, we are also putting in place various measures together to look at how we can prevent and mitigate these kinds of tensions which can arise between the local residents and overseas visitors.
なのでそこは問題はないというふうに吸収できる範囲の問題だという認識です。
So I believe this is a problem on the scale of something which can be managed.
Does Osaka have an ordinance on tattoos?
大阪は入れ墨に関するどういうふうになっていますか？
いや、民間の方の入れ墨は何ら問題はないですよ。
There is no problem for tattoos for private citizens.
ただ今入れ墨が入る中で、公共の浴場温泉等はやはり、管理者の方で入れないという、そういうルールを定められているところが多いということです。
However, it is true that there are many public facilities such as onsen and bathhouses and so on which do prevent people with tattoos from entering.
残念。私は入れ墨ありますから。
日本はね、日本はその入れ墨はやはり、反社会勢力の方々という
暴力団とか。
そうそう、暴力団。そのイメージがもう昔からあるわけです。ですから、やはりそういう方々がその入れ墨を見せて、こう浴場に入られると、一般の方がやはり、その浴場に、来なくなるという、そういうことから、今はそういう入れ墨、タトゥーを含むものがある人たちはなかなかそういう日本の温泉施設には入れないということになっています。
Traditionally, in Japan, tattoos are seen as something which are had by people who display antisocial behavior, people from violent groups and so on. This is the image which is traditionally held in Japan. Therefore, preventing, or if such people with tattoos do show up in the public bath, then this can stop members of the general public from coming as well. Therefore, at the moment, it is difficult for people who are managing such bathhouses and so on to have a policy to accept people with tattoos.
Right. The problem is, I think it's something like a third to a half of foreigners who come to Japan want to go to an onsen. A lot of them have tattoos. That lady, you've been waiting a long time. Sorry.
問題は日本を訪れる外国の方は約半分か3分の1は温泉に行きたいという希望があるんですが、入れ墨入れてる方が多いという問題は実はあります。
それはあります。
This will be the last question.
My name is Ari Buzetsu from the English side of Sankei Shimbun, Japan Forward. I have a question for the mayor, actually two small questions. The first one is it became a topic in the media about the high estimated cost of the Osaka Expo, and I was wondering what you thought about that. And the second one is something which obviously comes up also when the Olympics, for example, like after the Osaka Expo, how do you envision this space to become? And how do you plan to market it as like a new tourist destination? So,
Could you read the high cost of the expo?
The high estimated costs.
産経新聞の英語サイトの記者です。市長への質問が2つほどあります。まず万博の予算についてなんですけれども、その予算が非常に、高いと予測されているという問題が、提起されているんですけれども、その予算の話についてまず1つ目お願いします。そして次は五輪の話でも同じようなことがあるんですけれども、その大きなイベントが開催された後に、その現場をどういうふうに利用するのかという、その空間、その場所をどう万博の後に使うのかについての話をぜひお願いします。
万博の予算ですけども、万博そのものの予算は1250億円です。でこれについては国と地元自治体、そして経済界、それぞれ3分の1ずつ負担するということで、コストコントロールをしながら進めていきます。
First of all, in regards to the budget for the expo, the overall budget for the expo is set at 125 billion yen. This is divided into three looked after between the national government, the local governments, and also the local businesses as well. So there are these three parties which are contributing to the budget towards this, and the cost control is in place through that method.
これは過去の万博の例も参考にしながら厳しく見積もった数字でもあります。それぞれ、その役割というのは認識した上でこの万博誘致活動をしていますから、コスト面においては僕は厳しく見ていきながらやることで大きな問題は生じないと思っています。
And these estimates were put in place by looking very closely at past expo budgets as well, and being very tight or strict in regards to the estimates which are put in place, as well as this also looking clearly at the roles for who's responsible for each part of this budget as well. This was made clear from the bidding period as well. Therefore, I believe that these tight controls will be staying in place, meaning that I don't believe that this will turn out to be a problem.
それから万博開催後の夢洲ですけれども、その時にはIR の池は完成しているという状況です。
And in regards to the Yumeshima site after the expo, one of the core factors there is that the IR, the integrated resort, will already have been constructed there on that location.
万博の開催場であるこの夢洲というのは、人が住まない人口と、そして都心に近いという非常に希少なエリアだというふうに思っています。
And the venue for the expo Yumeshima is a man-made island where there's no local community, no local residents already living there, and it's located very close to the center. Therefore, it is very prime location in that sense.
だからこそその特性も生かして、この夢洲については世界的なエンターテインメントの拠点にしたいと思っています。
Therefore, utilizing these special characteristics of the site of Yumeshima, we hope to make this into a real global entertainment center.
そしてそれは単に享楽という意味ではなくて、広い意味でいろんな新たな挑戦ができるとか、新たなチャレンジができるという、万博のレガシーも含めた上での広い意味でのエンターテインメントの拠点に、ここしかないというエリアにしていきたいと思っています。
And when I refer to entertainment, I'm not just referring to the traditional kinds, but also looking at a place where people can take on new challenges, or really looking at how the legacy of the expo can be utilized or implemented in different ways on the site as well. Something unique which can only be done there.
先日新聞社の取材で大阪に公道 F1 レースを誘致したいという話もしました。それもそのうちの一つですけども、大阪世界中の人が集まるエリアにしていきたいと思っています。
And the other day, I had the opportunity to be interviewed for a newspaper article, and we discussed, for example, the possibility of inviting a Formula One race to Osaka as one example for this, looking at how it become a center where people from around the globe can gather.
Right, well, he threw that gem out right there at the end. F1 in Osaka. That caught me by surprise. Underlined. Well, thank you very much to both our speakers for coming all the way from the west to the big Mikan. The fact that we have such a healthy turnout today shows that there is an audience for what they say in Tokyo, and we hope they'll come back very soon to tell us about the progress of the expo and, of course, the preparation for the integrated resort. And thanks also to Mary Joyce for her turbo-brained interpretation, as always. And finally, thanks to the two speakers for keeping to the time. It's amazingly difficult to get politicians to just stick to the clock. Do show your appreciation, please, if you would. Thank you. Before you go, we renew our membership to the club. Sorry.